morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, wow. Well, this is the first time my voice. Let me get my voice in check, and I'll be back with you in a few minutes on the other side. Everybody's having a phenomenal day.
Cool.
Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to follow the Bradley's Fun, the Daily Dish. This is the morning show everybody's dishing about, everybody's talking about. Well, I hope you are having a great day out there, a phenomenal day wherever you are. Speaking of the day, as of the recording of this, the live stream of this, which you may be watching right now, or you may be watching a replay. Today is the last day of 2024, December the 31st. Oh my gosh, we made it. Somehow, we made it through another year. I don't know how we did it. I mean, for some of us, for a lot of us, I guess the majority of us, we got some very, very good news back in November. That might have helped. So, yeah. Let's see. We've got probably fewer people here today than usual because, well, it is the end of the year and people are looking at other things and doing other things. And I think there's parades on. I don't know. There's a Rose Parade. That's tomorrow, not today. But yeah, we'll be here tomorrow as usual, ringing in the new year. I'm trying to see who all these are. All Jeremy's. Going Shogi says, I'm not a fan of New Year's Eve. It's my second least favorite holiday after Valentine's Day. the two absolute worst days to work in food service. Yes, I would imagine. It's an How many people are watching this? This is weird. I don't think StreamYard is being accurate about the number of people watching. I could be wrong, but it's not showing me. It's showing me much fewer people than are actually in the chat. So I'm finding that kind of funny. Actually, we can turn this off. Sorry about that. Banner ran a little long today. Let's see. I don't have, by the way, any particular stories picked out yet. Equus Heart, I'm here. Happy New Year. Equus, happy old year right now. It's not the new year yet. Not the new year yet. The thing that I'm worried about most, I will tell you before we really get started here. The thing that I am worried about most in 2025 is that I was really looking forward to 2020. 2020 was going to be this awesome year. At the time, that was the time. Now it's been 5 years. I had just started working, having helped open a restaurant at Walt Disney World. I was on the opening team of a Walt Disney World restaurant, a fine dining restaurant, and that was a pretty cool thing, pretty cool honor to have. And I was actually phenomenal at my job. I was literally one of the best there. And I'm not just tooting my own horn. I have all of the accolades to prove that. And eventually I might share those. I don't know what I'm allowed to share or not allowed to share, but I might share them anyway. By the way, you might notice this thing on my lip. My lips have been really dry lately, and I accidentally peeled that one to the point of bleeding last night. Whoops, my bad. Anyway, so Equus Heart is here. Juliet, let's say hi to everybody that's in the chat. A few of you here. Jeremy, I believe, was first through the door today. So hello to Jeremy Heath. And by the way, if you are watching this on a replay, please comment below. Replay gang, or any other comment you want to make about how ugly I am or whatever. I don't really care. I'm pretty self-deprecating, so it's not going to bother me all that much. Just letting you know. But we do try to keep it positive on the channel. So family friendly, if you will. Not all the news is positive, but we try to look at it from a positive way and what good it can do us. So Jeremy Heath coming through the door says hello, and I said hello back to Jeremy. Good morning, Jeremy. Going Shogi says morning, everybody, and Rhonda H does as well. Good morning to Rhonda H. Hello, Going Shogi. Hello, Jeremy Heath. My mom is here. She's up watching. Hi, Mom. Hi, Kathleen. Yesterday was my dad's birthday. My dad turned 83 yesterday, I think. Let's see, he was born in December 30th of 41. So yes, he turned 83. Being born at the end of the years makes it weird for like how old you are for people to calculate that, because you're actually a year younger or a year older, year younger. I think you're a year younger than most people think. Like for me, most of the year next year, even though I was born in 71, I won't be 54 for most of the year. I'll be 54 at the end of the year. And Jeremy Heath. And the emojis. Equus Heart is here. And here. And Juliet says, Happy New Year's Eve and have a good evening, everyone. Don't do anything stupid. I will try not to do anything stupid. Good advice, Juliet. I don't think I can do anything stupid. We don't have any plans to go anywhere. And I haven't really gotten to the point in this channel where I'm streaming on New Year's Eve. If that is something that you guys would like to see, I have wanted to in the past to do Epcot on a New Year's Eve. I've never done Epcot on a New Year's Eve. I've had no desire to do Magic Kingdom on a New Year's Eve. although I've seen the Magic Kingdom New Year's Eve fireworks from the Grand Floridian in the past. I think it was 2016 into 2017. It might have been 2017 into 2018, but I know one of those years I saw the fireworks from the Grand Floridian. And if you're inside, they do a big balloon drop. When was your dad born? November of 41, Jeremy? Or November 30th? Man, I'm tired this morning. 2025 has to be such a different year. Do you guys have your goals, or what do they call them? New Year's resolutions? Mine are different. Mine are not so much resolutions as they are outcomes. They are not so much about what I want to get, but the work that I want to do. And with the hope that that work ends up getting me, the thing that I will want. Speaking of wanting things, since I've already said hi to all you guys, I think it would be a good time to do our little wake up call and play a little bit of a celebration. And I haven't added the asset yet, but there's something I've been wanting to add of about the Energon. But I've been trying to find clips about Energon and Transformers, and they're all about the Decepticons and none about the Autobots. Isn't that weird? So February of 42. Okay. My mom was born in February of 48. Oh yeah, I guess November would make him older. That's how tired I am, Jeremy, just so you know. But as you know, I love to celebrate all of you, and I think it's time to do that. Let's celebrate. Now, for those that might be watching this on a replay or not understanding what this is, I love to celebrate my audience. I love to celebrate you guys watching. So I like to let people know that this will come up if there are super chat, super things, super stickers, especially PayPals or buy me coffees or any of those types of things. Even if somebody buys merchandise from the merch shop, like Make Disney Walt Again. What does he say? Okay. Let's Sorry, I just got a message from Mr. Jonas J. Campbell coming through the door. But up. I could use Rodimus getting the Allspark. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out, there's this funny scene with the Decepticons drinking the Energon. But anyway, getting back to it. Sorry, I got interrupted. Point is, you guys are the Energon. Energon, by the way, is a Transformers reference that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed in the morning. So for that, I like to celebrate all of you. And this is what that celebration looks like. If you are already a member of the channel, get your custom emojis ready. It's time to dance. It's time to celebrate. Let's go.
Too much? Too much? It's a perfect! Wahoo! Oh, this is too much! Give me a break, I couldn't be more excited! Okay, this anticipation is making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy. On the pretty decent guy, I must say.
Ms. Martin Muses, how are you doing? Welcome in to the chat today. It is good to see you. Good to have you here. Is everybody caffeinating? This cup is a little bit strange, I know. If you put hot stuff in here, it changes. Oh, golly. I should put some Dancing Groot clips in there, shouldn't I? So, I wanted to do some, peppermint bark coffee. That sounds good. That sounds delicious. I wanted to do some, this is more of like a Q&A where, so, man, I mean, it's been a year, right? What, God. This year started off for me. I'm going to try to find something. I haven't covered this story, this specific story yet, but one of the things that I know you guys know from following the channel is that the most success that I had was talking about Tiana's Broccoli Adventure, Tiana's Broccoli Mountain, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the horrible changeover from Splash Mountain, the iconic Splash Mountain. I say iconic because Splash Mountain is referenced in a lot of television shows. It's referenced all over the place. Splash Mountain was a huge thing. And nobody worth any of salt cared about the idea of changing it over to anything else. It was never problematic. If you considered it problematic, you were problematic. Okay. Anybody who considered Splash Mountain problematic is the problem, and not taking note of themselves and not taking note of. Honestly, if you think Splash Mountain's a problem, you're a bad person. I'm just going to say it. You're a bad person. Okay. you have some issues that you need to resolve to become better. Okay. Do better. However, they changed it over, and it seems like Tiana's Bayou Adventure has been cursed ever since. And I'm going to do a whole video on why going into 2025, the disaster that Disney had with Tiana's Bayou Adventure, going into 2025 is very, very problematic for the company. So Splash Mountain, not problematic at all. Tiana's Bayou Adventure, very, very problematic. Did you guys know? Let me show you something. Let me see if I can bring this up. This is M-I crooked letter, I, crooked letter, I-P-P-I. I'm spelling the word Mississippi. I am going to bring something up here. And I'm actually going to share a Wikipedia page, believe it or not. So I'm going to share a Wikipedia page, and you're going to find how surprising it is that this Wikipedia page actually relates to Tiana's Bayou Adventure and how bad of planning it was on the part of Imagineers. So this is out of history. Now, if you've ever been to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, there is a calendar right there. And the calendar, I believe it says it's like February and March. It's the Mardi Gras season, right? So, of 1927. Well, there's a historical problem with throwing a big party in 1927 during the Mardi Gras, and that big problem is this: the Great Mississippi flood of 1927. The Great Mississippi Flood of 1927, and this is out of Wikipedia, was the most destructive river flood in the history of the United States. Let me repeat that again, because where does the Mississippi River flow into? Well, it flows into the Gulf Coast, into the Gulf of Mexico. But as it does that, it flows right into New Orleans. So the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927 was the most destructive river flood in the history of the United States, with 27,000 square miles inundated in depths of up to 30 feet over the course of several months in early 1927. The period cost of the damage has been estimated to be between $246 million and $1 billion, which ranges from, you're going to love this, in today's money, $4.2 to $17.3 billion in 2023 dollars. That's last year, but say 18 billion this year, right? About 500 people died and over 630,000 people were directly affected. 94% of all those affected lived in Arkansas, Mississippi, and you're going to love this, Louisiana, especially in the Mississippi Delta region. 127 people died in Arkansas, making it one of the deadliest disasters ever recorded in the state. And it continues on. As a result of this disruption, many joined the Great Migration from the south to the industrial cities of the north of the Midwest. The migrants preferred to move rather than return to rural agricultural labor. I mean, more than 200,000, more than 200,000 African Americans were displaced from their homes along the lower Mississippi River and had to live for lengthened periods in relief camps. Where is the lower Mississippi River? That would be New Orleans and Louisiana and the surrounding areas, which is crazy. Look at this. This says the then Secretary of Commerce Herbert Hoover's handling of the crisis gave him a positive nationwide reputation, helping pave the way to his U.S. election as president in 1928. Political turmoil from the disaster at state level aided the election of Huey Long as governor of Louisiana. It's unbelievable. So at the time of Tiana's Bayou Adventure is set story-wise, New Orleans had just been destroyed by the greatest flood in American history. Left more than 700,000 people homeless. 500 people died from as a result of the flooding. I mean, this is crazy. The flood affected Missouri, Illinois, Kansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma, and Texas. Arkansas got hit the hardest, but obviously it would have affected Louisiana as well. A group of influential bankers in New Orleans met to discuss how to guarantee the safety of the city, as they had already learned about the massive scale of the flooding upriver. So yeah, this was crazy. I don't think Imagineers took into consideration. This is funny. Yeah, Disney just can't stop stepping on rakes. I mean, you're talking about a queue of this ride that is literally themed after a salt mine that was worked by slaves. Now, in the Uncle Remus stories, Uncle Remus and his family were freed people, right? They were free. They had worked for the family. I don't know if there's nothing in the story that says that they were ever owned by the family of slaves. It's ridiculous. But this was what was a Reformation period, and during the time that Song of the South took place, Uncle Remus and his family and everybody, they lived as sharecroppers, so they got paid to do their work on this plantation, and they basically were a part of the family, so there's really nothing offensive about that. And if they chose to be sharecroppers, that was their choice. But the salt mines, the Avery Island salt mines, were never the choice of people to go there and work because it was a harsh condition. You were sent there as punishment. If you were a slave and you had done poorly as a slave, you were sent to work the salt mines as punishment. So, and now they use those salt mines as the cue for this. Now, of course, slavery wasn't going on in 1927, but why would you even want to create that memory when you could have just told the story of a sorcerer who was the bad guy of the story, shrinking everybody down and making this hill appear in the bayou? It would have made a lot more sense story-wise, because there's no mountains in the bayou. It would have made sense to have Dr. Facilier use his magic, his dark magic, to create one. And of course, he's coming from the other side. That even makes him a scarier character. Is he dead? Yes, but I mean, he's a ghost. So story-wise, they could have done so much more with that ride. Yes. So as a kid that grew up next to the Mississippi River, the floods are crazy. 95 and 95, 93 and 95 were bad too. So 93 was the year that I had moved out of St. Louis and moved down to Branson. And I went back up to check out the flood. It was crazy. The flood waters came up to the base of the arch. It's amazing that I think they were able to save the museum below from getting flooded somehow. But those floodwaters were really, really high. I remember being up there and I got pictures and everything. And that's why she got Tiana's Palace for such a great price. She pulled an Oprah. Oh my goodness gracious. Aloha and good morning and happy new year. Not quite yet happy new year, but it's coming tomorrow. Yes, I'm trying to get through a New Year's Eve. I'm going to need some rest today. I just got rescheduled to do the pro show on Thursday instead of today, so I will not be on the pro show today, apparently. And actually, I don't even know, does Culture have? I haven't seen a show for Culture yet, so if anybody can be on Culture Watch and let me know if he's posted, I would appreciate that. Equus Hart says, I mean, when has Disney ever been historically accurate? Just look at Pocahontas. Well, Pocahontas, very, very inaccurate historically speaking. And a lot of people thought the Splash Mountain should be a Pocahontas ride, but honestly, that would have been just as out of theme. And I wouldn't mind a Pocahontas Splash Mountain ride. Don't get me wrong. Wouldn't mind a Lion King Splash Mountain ride. All of those themes are fine for a log flume type ride. My problem is that Imagineering used to be great at theming for the area, and in Frontierland, if they wanted to retheme, and honestly, let's be honest, Splash Mountain wasn't exactly perfect in Frontierland either, just because of the time it was set. I mean, it was kind of the frontier, but if it takes place in Georgia, is it really the frontier? I would have loved to for the retheme to be Western River Expedition with critters and all kinds of stuff, and not used IP from anything, but just use critters and created a whole new story for the Western River Expedition and the Frontier of America and all that. I think it would have been great. Western River Expedition, by the way, was one of the ride ideas that they had for the Magic Kingdom in the beginning. And it was scrapped. You said Culture has his link up. Let's go check this and see if I can find it here. Give me a second, and I'm going to try to square this up so that we can redirect to Culture Casino. That'll go into That Park Place, I believe. All these stories, all these children's stories are just horror stories from real life events. I mean, everybody, like, people are always dying in those Disney movies. So yeah. All right, Culture, where's your link? Let me see if I can find it. Culture. I know I'm looking at my phone, guys. Why do they look like two X's? That's weird. There aren't two X's on my phone. That's so weird on the screen. I thought I saw it. Why am I not finding it here? Bothering me. All right, give me a second. I'm going to find it. There it is. Happy New Year's Eve with Bears. Branjoli over. Mufasa fails. Okay, good. Got it. Saved. We're all going to Culture Casino right over here. Thanks, Cohen Shogi. Appreciate that. Yeah, the redirect is a little bit different than a YouTube link like that, but I appreciate you putting the link up. There it is. So we should redirect over there automatically. Oh, there's more people in the house right now. Anyhow, I wanted to share this. So this is out of thatparkplace.com. Are we all familiar with thatparkplace.com? I hope so. By the way, if you haven't already given today's video, a like, we'd really appreciate that. Thumbs up, give it a like, share it out on social medias. And that is one big push for 2025. I'm going to be asking everybody to share these daily dishes, especially, but all my stuff out on social media. We really want to grow the channel big time in 2025. I want to grow the channel with viewers like you. Sound like a PBS commercial, right? People that really want the pulp culture news, people that want the theme park news, even if it's bad news, they want it from a good slant, from a positive vibe, because that's what I try to give off is positive vibes. We always try to have fun here on the channel. And even if I don't love the story that I'm having to talk about, like Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which could have been so much of a better story. Even had they just done the job of theming it correctly, it would have been fine. But it's problematic because it doesn't work and it's not properly themed. That would have been fine. But yes, more stories about this. But, we try to we look on the bright side. There it is. So this is out of That Park Place. This was on November the 16th by Mr. Marvin Montanero. Tiana's Bayou Adventure had its grand opening at Disneyland yesterday, and much like its Walt Disney World rollout, the West Coast debut of Splash Mountain's replacement was plagued by endless technical issues that left the attraction down for most of the day. Never mind the fact that this new water-based attraction opened in November on a day that saw temperatures peak at 74 degrees Fahrenheit. The biggest issue facing the attraction's West Coast debut was once again extended downtimes that saw the long-awaited log flume down for more than 7 hours on its first day of operation. According to sources in the park, the attraction was down for the first 3.5 hours of the day. Disney then got the new ride working, only to have it break down again for another extended period of time. Philippe the Frog, Myra the Frog, Isabel the Green Tree Frog, and Mondo the Frog inside of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So that picture. This is eerily similar to Tiana's Bayou Adventure's opening in Orlando this summer, where the attraction suffered from massive delays and downtime that often left riders stranded and in need of evacuation. And we talked yesterday about some of the things that can happen during an evacuation of a water ride. Oh, look at this beautiful Splash Mountain picture. Splash Mountain is a ride in Disneyland based on the movie Song of the South. Photo credit, Wikipedia, blah, 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 old. Okay. Many hoped that Disney learned from its mistakes over the last several months and implemented changes to prevent another Tiana Titanic. But alas, it seems as though history is doomed to repeat itself at the happiest place on earth. Adding insult to injury was the presence of Sharita Carter, the project leader on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. The Imagineer attempted to ride the attraction on its official opening day at Disneyland, and her big project broke down before she ever left the station. Oh, man. And out of X, Get Over It 1776 posted, Sharita Carter just 10 minutes before Tiana Bayou's Adventure shut down after only being open for 90 minutes. On opening day, yes, her log got sent. Yes, it got stuck. My goodness, poor Sharita Carter. And I have some, I didn't meet her, but I did see her. Gotta feel bad for the lady. They were eventually able to send her log, but very soon after, Disney evacuated the whole ride with her on it. Oh my gosh. This is eerily reminiscent of an incident that happened at Walt Disney World during the press and professional preview of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Jennifer Lewis, the voice of Mama Odie in The Princess and the Frog, got stuck on the attraction and started to lead a sing-along in the films Dig a Little Deeper with the rest of the stranded riders. Dig a little deeper. Well, I'm better that than she did one of her rants against President Trump. So there's no word on whether Carter attempted to get others to join her in song during the extended downtime yesterday. In another embarrassing moment for the House of Mouse, it seems as though Disney grossly overestimated demand for Tiana Adventure merchandise. The company set up a massive queue area for the debut merch with 10 registers and 18 switchbacks. However, this was the crowd at 4 p.m. on opening day. The empty queue for merchandise for Tiana's Bayou Adventure at 4 p.m. on opening day for the attraction at Disneyland. Another angle of the empty queue. Wow. Chris W. gets the photo credit on those. My goodness gracious me. The attraction serves as a replacement for the beloved Splash Mountain log flume, an attraction dubbed problematic by activists. I would say a very few activists in the Disney Stories Matters department. Stories Matter eliminates potentially offensive or insensitive elements from Disney Plus in the parks. I have a huge problem with that. Why? Because to me, things that can be considered adult bedroom issues are very offensive and are very prolific throughout Disney's storytelling on Disney Plus, in children's programming, and in the parks. And the vast majority of people consider that material quite offensive, and yet it's prolific everywhere at Disney, which is why one of the reasons Disney has been going downhill as far as their reputation is concerned with the general public. The general public, Disney families that were your audience, the vast majority of your audience for years, do not like that stuff. So the things that a tiny few people, 5, 6, 10 people consider offensive, the vast majority do not. And that the vast majority of things that we do consider extremely offensive, you are putting in your parks. You, Disney, are putting in your stories. You, Disney, if you do not stop that, you will stop getting our money. Period. So again, the perception of Splash Mountain was due to its association with the Disney film Song of the South, which a few, I wouldn't say many, Marvin, I'd say a few believe contains outdated racist depictions of African Americans. It really doesn't. It's just like you depict anybody from any culture. You might, if you're portraying a culture like the Indian culture, the Asian culture, you might go too far, and actually attempting to portray them correctly, you could even go too far. Like if I was doing an Australian accent, trying to portray an Australian, Australians might consider it offensive if I'm doing the accent the wrong way, but I'm trying my best to get it right. For example, on Olsey, on that Riddy thing, like down under shrimp on the bobby, that kind of thing. I'm not good at it, so whatever. Described as a quote-unquote necessary downgrade by some in the Disney Access media, Tiana's Bayou Adventure features far fewer audio animatronics than its predecessor and a lot more technical issues. With Tiana Bayou's Adventure open on both U.S. coasts, the final Splash Mountain attraction remains only in Tokyo Disneyland. So, yeah, there it is. There's the story of what I call Tiana's Broccoli Bayou Adventure. And it's getting worse and worse and worse over time, honestly. So that is that's the main story that started me off the year, because I want to say March, April, I started covering it, and it got pretty popular on the channel with some of my videos. On this is a pretty small channel, and I had videos that hit over 5,000 views based on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Of the direction that it was going. And, I am looking forward. I hope there has been some course correction in Imagineering, and I'm hopeful for certain attractions like Test Track 3.0 being a good change. The biggest change that I would like to see with Disney personally is get that Stories Matter group to stop calling anything from the past potentially offensive. CME Traveling, what is up? I see you in the house. I see you in the house. Hello and Happy New Year's Eve. So people don't think California gets cold, but it's a desert. The winters are extremely chilly. Disney treats Florida like it's California and California like it's Florida. That is true. Because it's a desert. What do you say, dessert or desert? Sorry. All right, there we go. So I will be doing more reporting on Tiana's Bayou Adventure and going into 2024 into 2025, why it's still a wreck. So look for those videos to come out. At least she didn't start reading slam poetry. I'd evacuate myself down the flume. Yeah, I would worry about Jennifer Lewis going off on her feelings about the incoming president. Speaking of which, another big story to cover. Hello and Happy New Year's Eve. Hello, good morning, CME Traveling. I hope you don't find this offensive, but we are going to do another celebration, but it's a little bit different celebration because this one has to do with a particular story, and that is the story of Trump's election. It is a story. It did happen. It will affect things in pop culture and theme parks and all the other news. It's where politics crosses over into pop culture. So rather than cover that whole thing as a long segment of story, we know what happened. I'm just going to give you what I think is pretty funny, and that is our Trump celebration dance. So whether you're happy about it or you're unhappy about it, and if you're watching this, I don't care which side you're for, because there could be people for either side. But it did happen, and I just put that together because I thought it was funny. So I hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot of funny. The funniest thing to me that came out of the whole election is the whole thing about eating cats and dogs. And I don't know if you guys remember that in the debate with Kamala, it was funny. Trump brought up that there were some posted incidents of some illegal immigrants in the Springfield, Ohio area stealing people's cats and dogs. And then this guy comes up and does this YouTube thing where he remixes Trump's speech into a song. And it says, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets of the people in Springfield. And he made it into a song. And I thought it was just so funny. Oh my gosh. And the rap song, yes, they somebody made fun of all that stuff, and it was just hilarious. So it was an interesting year. I'm glad the election is over regardless, because now we can get on with the rest of our lives, and that's a good thing. And I have just so many things that I want to do for 2025. By the way, if you have New Year's resolutions, post them in the chat or in the comments below. Please, I want to know what they are. One of my resolutions is to start getting at the very least, a single news commentary related video up on the channel every single day of the week, even if it's short, even if it's 5 minutes long or 10 minutes long or 15 minutes long, just at least one per day that is outside of the daily dish. Okay. I would love to get at least one vlog per week up. And then the Daily Dish will still be doing some lives at parks and things like that. But those are some of my goals. Plus, health and fitness is going to be the top of mind for me. During 2025. So I have a lot of weight that I need to lose. Okay, ton of weight that I need to lose. So that is a big problem. So next we go to and again, out of that park place, a story that has been around since 2022, and it just kept getting delayed. Your resolution is to see 2026. That is a good resolution. Your goal is to be out of California by the end of 2025. Where do you plan on going? Any place you plan on moving? There's I know there's some culinary needs out here. Just saying. There's also Vegas. There's plenty of other places that are not even that far from you. Don't go to Utah. You don't want to go there. It's too cold. Pretty though. My gosh. There you go, Jeremy. Missouri welcomes you, and you are thinking of Florida. Well, if you come out this way, let me know and we'll hang out. That would be very, very cool. And Jeremy Heath, I don't know if I ever told you this. Since you live there in Missouri and you're not far from where she was living, my grandmother, who was 101 years old, she did in fact pass away in late October. Just to let you know, I know that you knew about her, Jeremy. So Jeremy and Rhonda, but yeah, she is no longer with us. 101. It was her time. So Florida is the bee's knees too. But we are going to cover another big story real quick, and then we'll send you over to Culture Casino. And this is a story that has been with us, and it's given YouTube creators plenty to talk about. And you know who it is. She's on the cover of this thumbnail, and that, of course, is Miss Rachel Ziegler. Disney's Christmas Day Snow White preview sees another massive dislike ratio. Yeah. Yeah, she was your neighbor. And 101 is a mighty age. My grandma lived a long life. Now, she was the last of my grandparents to go. So I lived 53 years. Let's see. She passed away just before my birthday, I believe. So almost 53 years of my life, I had grandparents in my life. Now let's see. My parents are both still alive. I've lost a stepfather. But yeah, most of the people in my life, for the most part, have lived pretty long lives. So it was DeSoto, I think, is where she lived, I believe. Anyway, let's get to this. Out of that Park Place, another Rachel Zegler Snow White story, another sad one. And that is, you know what? I'm going to do something real quick before we start this, just because. Yes. Oh, there's OCDD 93. You know what? Because OCDD 93 just came in the door, I think it's a good time for me to do what I want, which is play one last celebration real quick, even though I know there's no supers or, that's okay. I love to celebrate you guys, and we got to celebrate. It's the last day of the year. So let's throw down a real quick celebration before we get to this last final story of the morning. Let's celebrate. I love that celebration. Oh, I tell you what, Rachel Zegler is the gift that keeps on giving. This is December 27th by Mr. Marvin Montanero. A Christmas Day preview of the upcoming Disney Snow White remake is once again amassing the wrong kind of attention. The video garnered a huge dislike ratio that seems to center around the film's deeply unpopular star, Rachel Zegler. If Disney thought its Snow White detractors might have been feeling generous or in the holiday spirit when it dropped its latest preview for the upcoming film, they were proven wrong in what has become a predictable trend. Viewers turned out in droves to click the thumbs down button on the House of Mouse's later Ziegler-centric video. The Christmas Day, and no, I'm not playing the video for you guys. I don't want your ears to burn. The Christmas Day premiere featured a sneak peek showcasing star Rachel Zegler performing an original song for the movie titled Waiting on a Wish. Unfortunately for Disney, the reception on YouTube was once again overwhelmingly negative, with the song amassing around 16,000 dislikes compared to just 2,900 likes as of this writing. That was several days ago. I'm not even going to check up on it today. Oh, it does look like 1224. Such an unfavorable response isn't isolated to the song alone. Every trailer released for Snow White has been met with a similar tide of dislikes, signaling deeper issues behind the film's troubled launch. One of the primary criticisms revolves around the movie's visual and technical aspects. Many viewers have taken issue with the CGI dwarfs, describing them as laughable and failing to meet the high standards traditionally associated with Disney productions. Additionally, Rachel Zegler's portrayal of Snow White has been met with skepticism. Fans argue that she doesn't convincingly embody the iconic character, questioning her suitability for the role that has been cherished for decades. However, the backlash extends far beyond technical shortcomings. A significant portion of the negative sentiment appears to be directed at Rachel Zegler herself, stemming from her highly publicized meltdowns and controversial behavior since being cast as Snow White. From the outset, Zegler has been a polarizing figure. She made headlines by clarifying that she wouldn't bleach her skin to play Snow White, a stance that some interpreted as a defensive reaction to the casting of we'll say half Hispanic actress in a traditionally white role. This declaration set the tone for a series of actions and statements that have alienated many potential fans. I personally just think it's her Prince Farquaad haircut, but that's just me. Zegler's interviews have often been described as outlandish and tone deaf. She has made comparisons likening herself to priceless sculptures in the Louvre, a statement that many found cringeworthy and disconnected from the reality of her role in Hollywood. Her criticism of the original Snow White painted the Walt Disney animated classic as sexist and outdated, comparing Snow White's prince to a stalker, a comparison that seemed both inappropriate and unnecessary and super cringe. The situation deteriorated when Zegler used the Snow White teaser trailer and its publicity to advocate for Palestine. This move was met with backlash, especially given that her co-star Gal Gadot is a veteran of the Israeli army. The political tension escalated following the 2024 U.S. presidential election, culminating in Zegler launching a social media tantrum tirade against President-elect Donald Trump and his 75 plus million supporters. And those are just the ones who voted for him. He's got plenty of supporters that didn't vote. Her statement made Trump and his supporters never know peace, ignited outrage so intense that she was compelled to issue an official apology on social media, a gesture that many question in terms of its authenticity and sincerity. Adding to the tumult, Zegler's recent film Y2K failed to make a significant impact at the box office, grossing a mere $4,210,306. This underperformance has only compounded the negative perception surrounding her career choices and public persona. The culmination of these factors has severely impacted Disney's Snow White project. The high number of dislikes on promotional materials reflects a broader dissatisfaction that could potentially influence the movie's performance upon release. Such a combination of technical criticisms and the public's growing disapproval of Rachel Zegler present a formidable challenge for Disney as it seeks to revive a beloved classic this spring. Do you think Snow White will bomb when it releases next year? Are you surprised by the Snow White dislike ratio? Will Disney continue casting controversial entertainers? Sound off in the comments. Let us know. Let us know in the chat. What do you think of this situation with the Z? What is up, Maritz's Yarn and Crafts? I see you. And let's look at Rachel Zegler is a good thing. It took someone like her to shake Disney into realizing they can't keep doing this. But here's the real question going, Shogi. Do you think they actually realize they can't keep doing this? Do you? I mean, we may not know for 2 or 3 years because what's on the slate right now actually using the blanket word woke. Don't love the word, but as a blanket word, woke, there's probably still a lot of potentially woke stuff coming out now. What do? They just changed that one thing where there was going to be a transgender storyline in a kids production and a kids television show. Why would you do that? Why would you put somebody that has... See, here's the thing. If you guys know anything about the mental illness that is denoted as schizophrenia, okay, schizophrenia is a condition in which you don't quite gel with reality. You might look around where you live, and in your world, in your head, you're living in Washington, D.C., even though you're living in Provo, Utah. Okay, that's kind of what happens. That's just one hypothetical example, obviously. But mental illness is mental illness. When you do not know reality, when you cannot gel your thoughts with reality, that is a form of mental illness that, if not actually corrected, can be dangerous to you, yourself, your loved ones, and society. And we need to understand that when people believe something that is different than what is actually real, we need to help those people understand what is real. We do not need to help those people continue to fake what is fake. That is a bad thing. Let's see. Jeremy Heath says, Ron, we used to tell the girls we're heading to the big city and they would all get excited thinking they're going to DeSoto. We are one town north. They got disappointed if we go north. That's funny. I think she showed it too much of their hand. Disney is going to be 4 years behind the game because of what was previously green lit. True. But Ziegler opened way too many eyes for their liking. You know, there is an overall arching problem. Okay, so my biggest issue with Disney right now is the pixie dust influencers. The pixie dust influencers are those who don't want the company to take issue with them. So there's and I like them. I like them as people. I know who they are. They are live streamers. They are vloggers. They are travel agents. They are people who keep saying Disney is the most magical place ever and Disney can do no wrong. That is a problem. If you defend this company's poor decisions and you keep saying Disney can do no wrong, it is bad for the people you're trying to influence because they will go to Disney World and they will have a horrible time thinking that everything was going to be this hunky-dory thing. Or they will get overwhelmed because they've been told that they have to plan everything out and they have to buy extra passes just to wait in line for a ride. There's so many problems. The goal of this channel, along with WDW Pro and That Park Place, the things that we line up, is to help companies like Disney get back on track when their upper management, their upper echelon of people, have made very, very poor decisions based on aligning themselves with the few in their little thought bubble of far leftism or price hiking, thinking that any of those things are going to be good. I have serious issues with that. And so while I want to have a good time at Disney World, and of course, Universal, SeaWorld, I want to vlog, we have a good time as a family, all of those things. Yes, I want to do all of that stuff. Yes, I have a big collection of popcorn buckets. I think the merch is pretty cool. I have this little thing. This is from Disney. This is cool. This group, it dances, I got it on the cheap because if you're smart about Disney merch, you can always find discounts. Not on popcorn buckets, though, darn it. I wish there were discounts on popcorn buckets, but yes, it's a deeper conversation for a more adult show. A lot of pixie dusters are damaged folks, and I won't talk about that. I hope they're not. Like most of the ones I know, I like them. I think that the fact of the matter is, 10 years ago, Disney was a great place to go and vlog, and you could be all positive about it. But as they started making changes to their parks, that in foresight, I thought were going to be good changes, but in hindsight, they're awful, like Galaxy's Edge, which could have been a good thing, but is not. It's not what it should have been. What's this? I like how you hook up with TPC, him, Cordy, and Ace are cool. I'm not sure who those people are. Barry Talk. Too. I'm not sure who all those people are, but all I'm trying to do is have fun, but also keep it real. And I will criticize the heck out of Disney as they go down a path that I don't know if they'll be able to recover from. One of the things I don't theme park casual. Oh yeah, yes, yeah. Okay, cool. Yep, now I know. Yes, indeed. And Barry is very, very cool. Bob is awesome. But here's the thing. So, biggest thing, Disney look. Can you undo the Disney look? No. He's not confusing me. I know it is. But thank you, Pat. Can you undo the Disney look? I don't think you can undo the Disney look because the workers, too many of them like it. And that's hugely problematic for the parks. Way more problematic than most people understand because it changes ideology of the people that work there. And when the cast members go downhill, the whole company goes downhill. And I think we're going to see more and more of that, unfortunately, in the future. But I have hope because Epic Universe is coming, and maybe that'll be a wake-up call. It really depends. Disney has to lose a lot of market share to Epic Universe and Universal in order for it to be a true wake-up call for them. So we'll see what happens. But until it does, we don't know. One of the things that's going to happen here, though, is that you will be here next year. I'm going to be here next year. I'm not going to see you guys until next year, probably, unless we stream tonight or something. We might do something tonight. So it's possible we see each other again this year, but maybe not until next year. So before we sign off today, before we send you over to Culture, we have to do one more long celebration. Let's go for it.
Too much? Too much? It's a perfect! Wahoo! Oh, this is too much. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, this anticipation is making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy.
Thank you so much, Go and Shogi, for the generosity. And Go and Shogi, a few others. I was able to get a few Follow the Bradley's Fun Christmas cards out to this year. Not to everybody. Unfortunately, I would love to send out a whole lot more, like to Andy W., for example. Hello, Andy W., where you are. Oh, there you are. So please keep coming in. I want to do more for members. I'm going to do a members only stream here coming up probably this weekend. A lot more things coming up for members only on the channel. And I will be revamping our I will be revamping our Buy Me a Coffee site. That's like our Patreon, so that there'll be things on there. I have a lot of work ahead of me for 2025. 2024, I really, really wanted to grow a community, and thanks to you guys like Dylan and Andy and Jeremy and Shogi, and Tom F is in the hospital today. I know because he sent me a message, and so many of you. There's so many of you that have come in. Dude, man, cuz there you go. Like so many of you have come in and become part of this community, the Fun Fam community, and I'm so happy for that. Like that's super, So my goal for 2024, that was like a big goal. So now my goal for 2025 is grow the brand, grow the channel, and grow the business with you guys, the community, being you guys being the foundation. Now, I'm not the foundation of this. You guys are the foundation of Follow the Bradleys Fun, and wherever it is that we end up going. Yes, my beautiful wife has come into the chat. So yes, if you could share out Virginia Bradley Magical Adventures and Virginia Bradley Adventures channels, I would appreciate that. Go and Shogi or Jeremy, whoever you want. Both of you can share because she's going to be doing some live streaming today. And I don't know if we're going to be doing live streaming together or just on her channel, or who knows what will happen tonight. I don't know, but we shall see what is happening there. Okay. And oh yes, we do have our spread shop. Yes, it is still active. Everything is still available there. Make Disney Waltz again. This hat is available right there, as you can see. Oh wow, I think that we're gonna have to do another celebration real quick before we leave. Let's do and just to say, let me show you this. Here are the different designs. We got Make Disney Waltz again. There's cups. There's the fedora. Findings on the by the way, finding fedora finds. I was gonna have it be findings under the fedora, but fedora finds will be the name of my news commentary shows, so that you can see those on the channel. And I wanted to. Let me share with you one other thing before I go. I didn't have a reason to use it today, but I am working on my media assets to make the shows more fun. Not just this one, but hopefully we'll be starting a nighttime show on Monday nights where there will always be guests on the show. And I'm not sure how I'm going to use this asset, but you're going to see more of them, something like this.
Doc, calm down, okay? Just calm down. It's me, it's Marty.
No, it can't be you. I sent you back to the future.
Hey, Doc, that's right, but I came back again. I came back from the future. Don't you remember last night? You fainted. I brought you home.
This can't be happening. You can't be here. It doesn't make sense for you to be here. I refuse to believe that you are here.
I think I might use that when I have guests on the show. There's Dan's Life with the King. You've been a guest on the show before. So we're gonna have more guests on the show and hopefully do a Monday night show. And I might do, I don't know, maybe Friday nights. I don't know. Go and Shogi's giving me some ideas about which nights are the best to do. And hopefully there'll be more things to fund more things on the channel. Oh, that's funny. And we can improve all the technical stuff and all of that stuff. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Let's send you over to Culture Casino again. I don't believe that I will be on the WDW Pro Show today or anything else like that today, but look for Thursday I should be on. But we got to get going. I got to get you guys sent over. Thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you, OCDD93. Thank you, Go and Shogi, for the generosity and everybody that's been here today. I appreciate you all. There will be a new outro coming with all of the new members to the channel as well. So until maybe next year, we'll see you real soon. Happy New Year. Goodbye, everybody. Ciao.